Most people think they're using AI well because they've gotten good at prompts. Better wording, more context, clearer instructions. That's not nothing. But it's costing you real hours every single week because it's not the shift that actually matters right now. If you stop at good prompts, you'll watch other people get results in minutes that still take you an hour. Here's the real shift. A prompt gets you one answer to one question. An agent gets you a result because it keeps working after you stop typing. Think about ordering a pizza. Prompting is calling the restaurant every 5 minutes. Is it in the oven yet? Is it out for delivery yet? You're doing all the checking. An agent is placing the order once and trusting the process to handle the oven, the driver, and the doorbell, and only interrupting you if something actually goes wrong. Same pizza, completely different amount of your attention spent getting it. An agent, in practice, is just software that can look at a result and decide what to do next. Then it acts on that decision, in a loop, without you typing the next step. That's the whole definition. Everything else is detail. This isn't a future promise, it's already working today, in specific, narrow lanes. Coding tools that read an error message, fix the line, rerun the test, and repeat until it passes. Research tools that open 10 sources, decide which 3 actually answer the question, and only then write the summary. The common thread in every case that actually works. The loop is narrow, and something checks the result before it's called done. Keep that thread in mind, because it's the whole rest of this video. If you tried an AI agent a couple of years ago, and it wandered off and did something useless, you're not wrong to be skeptical. Those early versions had a goal, and they had tools, but they were missing the third piece. Nothing was checking the work along the way. So they'd confidently head in the wrong direction for 20 steps before anyone noticed. What's actually changed since then isn't that the model got smarter, it's that people building these systems finally started taking the check seriously. Same idea, a much more honest implementation. So how do you actually build or use one? For things, and if anyone is missing, you don't have an agent. You have an expensive autocomplete. First, a goal, not a task. A task is summarize this email. A goal is keep my inbox at 0 and flag anything that needs my personal reply. A task ends. A goal keeps running until the goal is met. Here's a quick test for your own idea. If you can only picture it running once, you've described a task. If you can picture it still running next Tuesday without you, you've described a goal. Second, tools it can actually use. A model that can only talk back to you isn't an agent yet. It needs real access. A calendar it can read, a file it can write, a search it can run, an email it can send. Something in the world it can change, not just describe. This is usually the boring part to set up, API keys, permissions, logins, and it's also usually the part people skip past fastest in a demo, right before it breaks in real use. Third, a way to check its own work. This is the piece almost everyone skips, and it's the one that matters most. Without it, an agent doesn't fail loudly, it fails confidently. It sends the wrong email in a very convincing tone. The check can be simple. Did the file actually save? Did the calendar event actually appear? Does the output match a rule you wrote down? It just has to exist. A good rule of thumb: spend as much thought on the check as you spent on the prompt. Most people spend all their effort on the prompt and none on the check, and the check is the half that actually keeps you safe. Fourth, a stop condition. When does it hand control back to you? Every real agent worth trusting has a clear line it will not cross without asking. Sending money, publishing something public, deleting something you didn't back up. If you can't name that line before you start, you're not ready to turn it loose yet. Naming it takes 30 seconds. Finding out you needed one takes a lot longer. Goal, tools, a check, a stop condition. Miss the check or the stop condition and you haven't built an agent. You've built something that moves fast and breaks things quietly. Before you build any of this though, ask one honest question first. Does this task actually need to run without you? Or would a better prompt just solve it? Not everything deserves an agent. If you're doing something once, a good prompt is faster to set up. It's also faster to fix if it's wrong, since you're right there watching it happen. Agents earn their setup cost on things you do again and again, the same shape, week after week. That's where the setup pays for itself many times over instead of once. Build one for the repetitive thing, eating your Tuesday mornings. Don't build one for the one-off report due Friday. That distinction alone will save you more time than the agent itself would. Let's make this concrete with something you can actually watch happen. Picture a simple real one. The goal is draft a weekly summary of what shipped and post it to the team channel every Friday. That's already a real goal, stated plainly, not just summarized stuff. The tools are just as specific. It needs to read the project log, and it needs to be able to post a message. 2 real permissions, not a vague connected to everything. Here's where most people stop, at connected, and let it run. Don't. The check is what makes this safe to actually use. Before it posts, it counts the items it found. 0 items doesn't mean nothing shipped. It usually means the connection broke, so 0 items should never auto-post. It should flag itself for a human instead. That one rule catches the single most common agent failure there is, quietly succeeding at nothing. And the stop condition here is small on purpose, because the job is small. It drafts and posts to one channel. It doesn't get access to email. It doesn't get access to anything with money attached, because the job never needed that. Giving it access, just in case, is how a small helpful agent turns into a real liability. Run that same 4-part shape on almost anything you're tempted to hand to AI. You'll know in about 30 seconds whether it's actually agent-shaped or whether it's just a task wearing a bigger word. Now run it on something with real teeth, a coding agent fixing a bug in your codebase. The goal: make the failing test pass. Bigger tools this time, it can read the whole repository, edit files, and run the test suite itself. The check is the same principle as before, just automatic and immediate. It doesn't get to decide it's done, the test suite decides. Pass or fail, no room to argue. And the stop condition scales with the danger. Read and edit code freely, run tests freely, but never push to the main branch and never touch production without a human looking first. Same 4 pieces. Much bigger tools, so a much stricter check, and a much harder line it won't cross alone. That's the pattern worth remembering. Bigger tools always demand a stricter check and a harder stop condition, not a looser one. That trade is the whole game. Here's a third one, because this is the shape that trips people up most. 2 agents talking to each other. Say your agent drafts a status update and emails it to a manager, and the manager's own agent reads incoming email and produces a daily digest. On paper, that sounds efficient. In practice, watch what actually happens to the goal. Your agent's real goal was keep my manager informed. The email is just the tool it's using to do that. But somewhere in that chain, the actual measured outcome quietly became an email got sent. And whether your manager ever meaningfully absorbed it stopped being checked at all. 2 working agents. And the goal still leaked out of the system, because nothing on either end was checking the thing that actually mattered. Did a human understand something they didn't before? That's not an argument against agents talking to agents. It's the reason the check has to watch the real goal, all the way through the chain, not just the last handoff. One more worked example, because not everyone reading this runs a team or a code base. Say you're job hunting, and you want an agent that watches for new postings that actually match what you do, instead of you refreshing 3 job boards every morning. The goal: flag postings that match your real criteria. Don't just list everything with the word manager in it. The tools: it needs to search job boards, read the postings. That's it. It doesn't need your email or your calendar for this. The check matters more here than it looks. Does the posting actually mention the 2 or 3 things you specifically care about? Seniority, remote policy, the actual role, not just a keyword match that pulls in noise. Without that check, you get a fire hose of near misses, which is worse than doing it yourself, because now you're screening the agent's output instead of the job boards directly. And the stop condition is simple. It flags for your review. It never applies on your behalf. Submitting an application is exactly the kind of thing that stays a human decision. 3 different jobs, 1 shape every time. A weekly summary bot, a coding agent, a job search filter. Different tools, wildly different stakes, but the same 4 questions answer whether each one is actually safe to trust. Notice the pattern in the stakes, too. The summary bot could embarrass you a little if it got something wrong. The coding agent could break a real system if the check failed. The job filter, worst case, just waste your morning on a bad match. Rank your own idea on that same scale before you build it. A low-stakes agent can tolerate a looser check while you're learning how this works. A high-stakes one earns the strictest check you can write, from day one. No exceptions while you're still learning what actually goes wrong. So how do you actually start? Today, without overbuilding this on your first try. Pick one task you already do by hand every week, something boring and repetitive, not something ambitious. Write down its goal in one sentence, the way you would explain it to a new hire. List the 2 or 3 tools it genuinely needs, and nothing more. Resist the urge to connect everything just in case. Write one check, even a simple one, before you let it touch anything real. And name the one line it can't cross without asking you first. That's the whole starting kit. You don't need a framework. You don't need to read 10 tutorials first. You need one small agent that's actually trustworthy before you build a second one. Here's the part that gets glossed over. Agents are not magic, and the gap between type a prompt and your business runs itself is bigger than most videos on this make it sound. Every one of those 4 pieces takes real setup. The tools need real access, which means real authentication and real permissions that expire and need renewing. The check needs to be written by someone who actually understands what correct looks like for that job. That's genuinely the hard part, not the AI part. When an API changes or a login expires, the agent doesn't gracefully explain that. It just quietly stops working, or worse, keeps going with wrong information. And agents are more exposed to a real AI weakness, not less. When nobody's watching the output in real time, a confident wrong answer travels a lot further before anyone catches it. More autonomy without a real check isn't a shortcut. It's just a longer runway before the mistake gets noticed. There's a second failure mode worth naming: the loop that doesn't know when to stop. An agent chasing a goal can burn a genuinely large amount of time and cost retrying the same failing approach in slightly different words. That's especially true without a clear stop condition capping how many attempts it gets. That's not hypothetical money either. An unsupervised agent left retrying overnight can rack up a real bill by morning. It's the same as leaving a car running in the driveway all night. Nothing dramatic happens, it just quietly costs you. The fix is the same 4th piece from the framework, a hard cap, not a suggestion, on how many times it's allowed to try before it stops and asks. And remember that agent-to-agent chain from earlier. It's a real limitation, not just a curiosity. The more agents you chain together, the easier it is for the actual goal to quietly disappear somewhere in the middle, replaced by a message got passed along. Every extra hop is another place for that to happen unnoticed. The fix isn't fewer agents necessarily. It's checking the real goal at the end of the whole chain, not just each individual handoff. None of that means don't build one. It means the honest version of this promise is simple. Agents can give you back hours a week, but only after you've actually done the unglamorous setup work, not instead of it. So, a prompt gets you an answer. An agent gets you a result because it keeps working after you stop. For pieces make it real, and all 4 have to be there. A goal you could still picture running next week. Tools with real access to something in the world. A check that catches a confident wrong answer before anyone else sees it. And a stop condition it will not cross without you. Miss any one of those 4, and you don't have an agent yet. You have something faster than a prompt, and just as unsupervised, which is worse, not better. Notice what none of that required. Not a coding background, not a specific framework, not the newest model. Just a goal you can state in one sentence, tools you can name, a check you're willing to write down before you trust the output, and a line you won't let it cross alone. Everything else people sell you about agents, the frameworks, the platforms, the courses, is implementation detail sitting on top of those same 4 questions. Get the 4 questions right first, and the implementation gets a lot easier to pick. That's the actual shift, and it's why we're covering the concepts underneath AI, not just the headlines about it, here. If that's useful, subscribing helps more than you'd think. It's how we know to keep making this kind of video instead of just chasing the next announcement. And drop a comment. What's the first real task you'd hand to an agent, if you trusted the check enough to let it run? I read every one, and it shapes what we build next.